So welcome to the another video of data structures using Java. In this video, we will be solving a problem called as segregate zeros and ones. So let's understand what does exactly question means. So we will be given one array and my array will contain only two types of elements, that is either it will contain 0 or it will contain 1. Apart from this, there will be no any elements present in my array. And what I need to do is I need to bring all the zeros to the left side and I need to bring all the ones to the right side. So once I do it, my array should look like 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. If you observe carefully that what I did is I have brought all the zeros to the left side and I have brought all the ones to the right side. So in this way I need to rearrange the elements present in my array. So let's understand how we can solve this problem. So we can solve these problems in two methods. So let's check the first method how we can solve this problem. So assume that we have given an array as 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So what we need to do is we need to bring all the zeros to the left side and all the ones to the right side. And if I bring all the zeros to the left side, my array will look like a 0, 0, 0. And if I bring all the ones to the right side, my array will look like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now if you try to observe this array carefully, what we can say that this array simply looks like a sorted array. Which means if I sort the given array, I can simply get the required answer. So this will be my first approach. What I can do is I can simply sort my array as sort ARR. And once I sort my array, I will simply get the required answer. So this is my first method to solve this problem. Now, if I try to do this problem by sorting, what will be my total time complexity? Since I am sorting the array, it will end up getting n log n. So this would be my total time complexity. Now let's move out how we can optimize this problem. So what will be the second method to solve this problem? So again, assume that we have given problem as 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. And what we need to do is we need to bring all the zeros to the left side and all the ones to the right side. Now let's try to optimize this code carefully. So what I will do is again I will try to maintain the two pointers, that is first when I start and here I will maintain as end. Now what I can do is if you observe carefully that start contains 1, but what I want the start should be contain 0. I will write over here is that my start should contains only zeros and my end should contains exactly the 1, because the start is pointing to the left side of my array and the end is pointing to the right side of my array. And what we discussed that we need to bring all the zeros to the left side and all the ones to the right side. That is the reason why my start should contains 0 and my end should contain 1. So my start is looking 1, but what I want 0. So I need to element present at start should get swapped somewhere which contains a 0, right, which contain a 0. Now if I try to swap this one with this one, anyhow again my start will contain 1. Therefore what I will do is I will not swap this one with anyone else. Now I will go to the end contains 1 and what I required at end 1. So what I will do is I will not do anything, I will simply transfer my end to the 1 position previous, because at end I was looking for 1 and of course I already the 1 was present there. Now again end is pointing to the 1 and at end I wanted 1, so I will not do anything, I will simply move my end to 1 position behind to it. Now observe carefully that my start contains 1 and my end contains 0, but start wants 0 and ends wants 1, which means both are opposite. At start I want 0 and at end I want 1, which means I can simply swap these two elements. So what I will do is I will simply swap 0 over here and 1 over here. So if you now carefully observe it, I wanted 1 at end, so I got the 1. I wanted 0 at start, so I got the 0. Since both are at the correct position, so I will simply move my pointer by 1 position. Right? So my start will do as start plus 1 and end will move as end minus 1. Now see, my end contains 1 and my start contains 1. I wanted to swap this element with end, but end is already contained as 1, so I don't need to swap it, because anyhow I wanted 1 present at end. So simply I will move my end to 1 position behind it. Now again, my start contains 1 and end contains 0. But I am looking for 0 at start, I am looking for 1 at end. So simply what I can do is I can simply swap these two elements. So it will be here it would be 0 and here it would be 1. Now what I can do is I can simply change their position. Now both the elements are pointing to the same elements. Now do we need to swap anything or do we need to check anything? No, because even if you try to swap this element, it will come at its own position. Now observe the array carefully that all the zeros came at the first and all the ones came at the last, right? So simply what we need to do is if my a of start contains 1 and if my a of end contains 0, what we need to do is we need to simply swap the a of start and a of end, because they are not in the correct position. Otherwise what we did is else if my start contains already 0, if my start already contains 0, which means I have exactly the element which I am looking for, so I won't be doing anything, I will simply increase the position of start by 1. Else if my end is already contains 1, now do I need to do anything? No, because I want 1 present at end and it already has it. So simply I will decrease the end by 1 position. So this is a simple algorithm we can use to optimize this code. Now what we are doing is we are simply running a loop from first position till the last position. So what will be the total time complexity? My total time complexity, which is nothing but big O of n, which is much better than n log n. So I hope so you understood both the methods how we can try to solve this problem. Now let's move on to the IDE and try to submit our problem. So this is a simple Java code. First of all, what I did is I simply took the length of my array, then I declared the two pointers, that is start, which is pointing to the first element, end, which is pointing to the last element. Then I go on doing this until unless both are less than or equal to each other. Now if start is 1 and end is 0, what I need to do is I need to swap this element, and once I swap it, I will increase the pointer of start by 1 and I will decrease the pointer of end by 1. And if my start already contains 0, which means I have exactly that element which I am looking for at start, so simply I will move start by 1 position. If this condition is not true and this condition is not true anyhow, which means AR of end contains 1, so I will simply decrease the end by 1. So if I try to submit this problem, let's check whether it get accepted or not. Yes, indeed it got accepted. So I hope so you also understood this problem really well. Just in case if you are new to the channel, do subscribe the channel.